50 random facts means 50 times your mind will be blown. Let's do it. In Egypt, asking for salt can be seen as rude, implying the food isn't properly seasoned. A simple request carries a subtle cultural sting. ZIP and zip code stands for Zone Improvement Plan, launched in 1963 to speed mail delivery. 5 digits mark regions, with an optional 4 for pinpoint accuracy, a numeric postal roadmap. Wilhelm Röntgen discovered X-rays in 1895 by accident during cathode ray experiments, revealing invisible rays that would revolutionize medicine and let humans peek inside bodies without a scalpel. New York City's subway spans over 800 miles of track, making it one of the world's largest urban underground networks. Beneath the streets, tunnels, trains, and stations pulse like the city's hidden heartbeat. A US dollar bill weighs roughly 1 gram, so 450 to 500 bills together equal a pound. Handy knowledge for cash-heavy math, money stacking, or impressing friends with paperweight trivia that feels surprisingly practical. Ergophobia is the fear of work, tasks, colleagues, or entire employment situations. Rooted in anxiety or past trauma, it's more than procrastination. Therapy and gradual exposure can help sufferers navigate careers without dread. Franklin Roosevelt was related to 5 U.S. presidents by blood and 6 more by marriage, making his family tree a political dynasty. Power, influence, and connections ran deep in both the veins and social circles of this iconic leader. French author Georges Perec penned La Disparition, a 300-page novel completely avoiding the letter E. A linguistic tightrope, this work turns a tiny vowel into a creative challenge, showing the constraints can spark astonishing literary ingenuity. Antarctic researchers must plan resupply flights months in advance, as missing essentials like food can mean waiting through endless icebound months. Life at the bottom of the world is a logistical puzzle where timing and foresight are as critical as survival skills. Beekeepers on the move are essentially VIP chauffeurs for bees. Using ventilated boxes, they transport buzzing cargo safely, keeping their stingers and honey-making crew intact, proving that logistics in the insect world is just as delicate and high-stakes as in the human one. Up to 75% of wild birds die within 6 months, yet the survivors may live for decades. Nature is ruthless early on, rewarding endurance and luck with long lives aloft. Barbie's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts. Mattel gave her this proper identity behind the iconic doll, adding a touch of backstory to the fashion icon who has enchanted generations. Blindfolded humans often walk in circles due to tiny stride differences, highlighting how reliant we are on sight for straight-line navigation, take away vision, and we spin literally out of control. Tropical storms got female names starting in 1953, later including males in 1979. Destructive storms like Katrina retire permanently, showing that meteorology and memory sometimes intertwine with human culture. Before 1687, clocks only tracked hours. Daniel Quare's invention of the minute hand revolutionized timekeeping, making navigation, scheduling, and punctuality far more precise, a small hand with a huge historical impact. Pineapple contains bromelain, an enzyme that digests proteins. It tenderizes meat, tingles the tongue, and reduces inflammation, a tropical multitasker that's part chef, part health nut, and part tiny troublemaker for sensitive mouths. Drinking snow seems romantic in survival stories, but it's mostly frosty fluff. Packed with air, it takes mountains of it to fill even a small cup. Your quest for instant hydration quickly turns into a soggy, chilly, barely quenching chore. One dairy cow can produce thousands of gallons of milk in her lifetime, enough to fill hundreds of thousands of glasses. Each bovine superhero quietly powers breakfast tables worldwide, proving that milk isn't just a drink, it's a lifetime performance. Dolly Parton once entered a contest to see who looked most like her, and hilariously didn't win. Imagine the irony. A country music icon bested by someone else in a Dolly contest, cementing her lifelong reputation for humor, humility, and sparkle beyond any trophy. The International Ornithological Committee counts 254 owl species worldwide. Most hunt at night, though some are diurnal. With forward-facing eyes for depth perception and whisper-soft feathers for silent flight, they're perfectly designed aerial predators with style and stealth. A single Google search harnesses hundreds to thousands of servers and complex algorithms, delivering results in roughly 0.2 seconds, a blink-speed marvel of modern computation. Snow needs moisture to form. Extreme cold alone isn't enough. Antarctic is frigid, but dry air keeps snowfall rare, proving that winter's magic depends on more than just freezing temperatures. Some snow campers dig pits in tent vestibules to trap cold air, making the sleeping area slightly warmer. But here's the catch. It also boosts humidity, turning your cozy winter tent into a frost factory. Each strawberry wears around 200 tiny surface seeds, or achenes, each with the potential to grow a new plant. Nature packs entire futures onto a single fruit, proving even small things can carry massive potential. Portmanteaus fuse two words into one, like brunch, breakfast plus lunch, or motel, motor plus hotel. Language gets playful, creative, and efficient, showing that wordplay is a lifelong evolutionary advantage for communication. Squirrels forget about half or more of the nuts they bury, unintentionally planting forests. Each misplaced acorn becomes a tiny arboreal architect, turning scatterbrained foraging into a secret gardening service for Mother Nature. Human memory reconstructs reality rather than simply recording it. Suggestions, imagination, and gaps in recall can create false memories so vivid they feel real, showing the brain's creative, sometimes mischievous approach to storytelling. Recycling 1 ton of paper saves about 17 trees, protecting forests while cutting energy use and pollution. Each reprocessed stack is like a small environmental victory, turning yesterday's newsprint into tomorrow's notebooks without felling new forests. In reptiles like turtles and alligators, gender is determined by incubation temperature, unlike mammals and birds that rely on chromosomes. Heat or coolness literally decides whether an egg hatches male or female, showing nature's thermostat controls more than comfort. The photic sneeze reflex affects roughly 18 to 35% of people, triggering involuntary sneezes when sunlight hits their eyes. Imagine walking outside and suddenly, a sneeze, your body's genetic quirk, turns bright light into a sneezy surprise, a tiny reflex with a universal Gesundheit moment. The world's median age is around 30, meaning half of humanity is younger, half older. Birth rates, longevity, and demographics shape this collective snapshot of our species' age. Humans detect 5 basic tastes: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami, nature's toolkit for finding nutrients and avoiding toxins, turning every bite into a survival guide written on your tongue. Humans blink about 20 times per minute, over 10 million times a year, to keep eyes moist, clean, and protected. Blink rates fluctuate with stress or screen time, silently guarding your windows to the world. Turtles don't have teeth. Their keratin beaks suit their diets. Herbivores snip leafy greens, carnivores tear meat, and evolution ensures these shelled creatures can munch efficiently without ever needing a dentist. Kids may grow a bit faster in spring, though genetics and nutrition dominate growth. Seasonal sprouting is subtle, like nature's whisper, hinting at environmental rhythms influencing tiny human bodies in small, playful ways. Steel is the ultimate recycler. It can be reused endlessly without losing strength. Bridges, cars, skyscrapers, and gadgets can all benefit, making metal a sustainable superstar that proves durability and eco-friendliness can coexist. Father's Day historically had the highest number of collect calls, a charmingly old-fashioned way kids checked in with dad. Today, free calling apps have replaced coins and operator fees, but the tradition of honoring fathers endures digitally. Clocky is the alarm clock that refuses to be ignored. With wheels and cunning, it escapes your nightstand, forcing sleepy humans into full-on chase mode just to silence its relentless beeping, a punishment and cardio session wrapped in one tiny, clever gadget. In New Zealand, fantasy meets architecture. Hobbit-inspired homes with round doors, grass-covered roofs, and cozy curves bring Tolkien's Middle-earth to life. Walking into one feels like stepping into a storybook, where modern comfort meets whimsical, earth-hugging design. Modern smartphones aren't one-size-fits-all. They're mostly sized for average male hands. For many women and smaller-handed users, single-handed texting becomes a thumb-stretching workout. So next time you drop your phone trying to reach the top of the screen, blame design bias, not clumsiness. Plutophobia, the fear of wealth, can cause people to avoid financial success entirely, as anxiety or guilt about money creates an invisible barrier between ambition and prosperity. When sunlight bounces off snow, UV rays hit your eyes from every angle, leading to snow blindness, a painful, temporary vision loss. Sunglasses aren't just cool looking, they're survival gear on the slopes. Plyometric exercises like box jumps train explosive power and vertical leap. Essential for athletes in basketball, volleyball, and other sports, these drills turn raw energy into gravity-defying performance. Babies are born with roughly 300 bones, many of which fuse over time into 206 adult bones. Human growth isn't just height and weight. It's a skeletal transformation, a quiet fusion project inside every developing body. After hurricanes destroyed coops, Kauai's chickens went feral and never looked back. Today they strut like feathered kings across the island, crowing at dawn and reminding everyone that nature always finds a way to be noisy. In medieval England, men over 14 were legally required to practice archery weekly. The longbow wasn't just sport, it was a strategic weapon, and consistent practice ensured the kingdom had a ready army of skilled marksmen at all times. A Florida man got charged with condiment battery in 2019 after squirting ketchup on his sleeping girlfriend. A bizarre legal category for a bizarre act, turning fast food into a tool of mischief and law enforcement into a spectator of absurdity. During the Renaissance, many Europeans skipped baths, fearing that open pores invited disease. Instead, they layered on perfumes, powders, and oils. Hygiene was less about soap and more about smelling like a botanical garden while quietly fermenting underneath. Some people have taken tipsy and mowing to a whole new level, getting arrested for driving lawnmowers while drunk. Slow-speed chases ensued in suburban streets, proving that even tiny vehicles can turn into surprisingly chaotic adventures when alcohol enters the equation. Japanese folklore warns of the Karakaso bake, an umbrella that grows an eye, a leg, and a freakishly long tongue if abandoned or mistreated. This mischievous spirit hops around, licking things and spooking people, proof that even umbrellas in Japan deserve respect, or they'll come back hopping for revenge. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's video, or check out the playlist on your screen for more facts. See you next time.